Alright, so we're checking out the only game with 21 endings where 20 of them are either you dying horribly or wishing that you were dead. It's Kyle is Famous. More ridiculous death endings, damn it. In Kyle is Famous, you play a young Kyle. And you're famous. I know this because of the on-point narration we have. Your job is to interview Rachel May. The only problem is you have a tendency to die horribly all the time. Kyle is Famous is kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure, except all the adventures end up with you dying in the worst ways possible. Kyle has 30 hours left to prepare for his interview with Rachel May. I would say that my intent is to screw this up as bad as possible, but I think that's kind of easy. Time until the interview, 30 hours. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. I like how the two decisions are just exit the bed or wither away. I also like how it's decided that no matter what I choose, it was made wisely. If you wither away, does the game just end? I've got to do this. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered away successfully and died. Shucks, it's the only option. I appreciate that bed turned into deathbed. What the hell happens if you click on shucks? Kyle is now a ghost. This does not relieve him of his responsibilities. Jesus Christ, it's real. Even if you die, there is no respite. The only option is get out of bed anyway. What the hell is this? Is this me now, my sad little ghost? Open the closet, sit at desk, scavenge. Exit. Why is this one in yellow? Why am I scavenge? I'm a ghost. I don't need anything anymore. Scavenge. Kyle quickly crouched down to the floor. Realizing his imminent need for bugs, gossip, back to bedroom. I don't even know why this is an option. I have to click it. Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. I appreciate that I've been doing this for an entire hour. Soon he had a small handful of various insects, dead and alive. Save for later use, eat immediately. Why? What this game doesn't tell you is that Kyle's blood type isn't A or AB. It's LSD. Both of these are so good. I guess I'll eat them. Oh my God, what's with the sound effects? Kyle threw back his head and crammed the sticky, wriggling mass into his mouth. He felt refreshed. What the fuck? What is this update? Does this just mean I'm dead and I don't need to eat? I'm not hungry anymore? Gossip. Kyle firmly pressed his ear into the carpet, hoping to hear some stray words from the neighbors below. I heard Rachel May is going on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more. Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug and fight misdoers. I feel like we've managed to go on a really bad tangent. I've almost spent half of my time before the interview and I've legitimately done nothing but die and eat bugs. Let's go into the closet. Kyle opened his closet. It was dark, and he could only really see his hanging shirts, okay? Kyle decided to take some time to choose a perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. Jeans and swimming goggles, a slick suit, a suit of armor, or skunk pasties? This game is amazing!
What the fuck are you playing?
Kyle is Famous. It's a game on Steam. I'm choosing the skunk pasties. Kyle chose the pasties made out of smashed skunk flesh. I just thought that maybe they had a skunk-like appearance. They're actually dead skunk. It's so messed up. Getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue. This game is so ridiculous, like, the obvious thing for me to say is what body? We're already dead and we're a ghost, but I can't even think that far because my brain is slowly warping. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interview. Kyle wrote down his first question. Are you a mother? Am I a mother? Is your mother a mother? What is his mother fixation? Sure, is your mother a mother? What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? Or I purposefully ran over a puppy. This isn't a question, it's just a statement. I guess we'll exit to the hallway. I've just spent 30 hours in my bedroom. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. So this is a common occurrence. Showtime. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here. You're going to regret saying that." I'm kind of curious about how she hasn't commented on the fact that we're wearing mutilated skunk tissue all over our body. Scream and spin in circles or answer politely. This is a matter of perspective, because I think that this is pretty polite. Kyle started to stretch out his arms wide, tilted his neck upward, and was interrupted by his producer telling him and Rachel that it was time to start the show. God damn it. What in the hell was that intro music? Oh, you can gossip about the neighbor. "Good evening, everybody," said Kyle. "My neighbor is a bug vigilante." With nothing more to say on the matter, he fell silent. That's it, that was the point. Rachel, also on camera, stared at her hands and wondered when she was going to be introduced. The producer started cutting to different camera angles to break the tension. Kyle continued to remain silent and stare forward blankly. After several minutes, neighbor Gabby walked onto the set. What the hell? The neighbor is here. "Hi, everyone," she said, smiling hollowly. "My name is Gabby, and I'm not a bug vigilante." False. Kyle looked at Gabby and then returned to staring forwards. Where have we gone? Where have we gone in this game? Gabby began to reply, but was interrupted by a bug-shaped intercom on her belt. "Bug girl," it squawked. "A robbery is in progress on East 3rd. Report." Gabby threw the intercom on the ground and crushed it under her foot. I'd like to point out that as much as a screw-up as Kyle is, he was right. Gabby left the set. I don't know what to say here, because the few brain cells that I have left are trying to kill me. "Well," said Kyle, "that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Rachel. We didn't even do the interview. Son of a bitch. I want an ending where I actually get to interview her." Kyle got up, shook Rachel's hand again, and walked past the cameras, leaving her alone. In the coming days, fans of both Rachel and Kyle dubbed this show as a masterpiece of television. Stay up late with Kyle online pages were updated to reflect this broadcast as the most popular ever. Kyle's producer later tried to have Rachel on the show again, but she was very, very, very busy. And Kyle talked about Gabby. Oh my God, I want more endings. Okay, real quick. What we're gonna do is first, we need our... It's so hard not to pick this. I'm going with the suit of armor this time. We need to get Rachel with some questions asked. Kyle was unsure of exactly what caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. It's because there is no wrong thing to do when you're Kyle. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self. Okay, we need these questions. I want them a lot. I'm taking this goddamn key too, because I feel like it might be important for something. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the rooms of his apartment together. Check locked door. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Force the door with forehead. I appreciate that I have a key, but this is the very first way I can think of to open this door. After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term amnesia. No, am I gonna forget about my questions? Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. I can open the refrigerator. After what we've seen in this game, I shudder to think what sort of horrors lay inside. Open the fridge. Kyle opened the fridge intending to find something to eat. Eat crust on the fridge wall, prepare breakfast, eat condiments, or eat the fridge. I was about to say how this is impossible, and then I realized what I'm playing. Yep, eat the whole fridge. Kyle pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he wrapped his mouth around the device and started to swallow. Kyle, if you swallow this whole fridge, you are a true hero of the people. Oh, the sounds! What is it? Stop. It's torture. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat. After many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out, because that's the thing that we're concerned about the most. So we're about to talk to Rachel, and I can't actually greet her because I forget her name from amnesia. Hello, Kyle's ears began to ring from his concussion. Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Kyle's eyes, the producer approached. I'm just curious, am my refrigerator shaped now? Kyle sat in the nearest chair. Rachel, her seat stolen, sat in the host chair. I'm not gonna lie, if there was a late night talk show that went just like the endings that we've seen so far, I would watch this every single night. It's showtime, bitch. Good morning, everyone, said Kyle. My name is, Kyle made a desperate effort to remember his name, or really anything. Do you know who I am? He asked. Rachel looked back confused. All I can think about is some lady sitting in the host chair while a refrigerator-shaped chainmail-clad man is sitting next to her. Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are. Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle made up his mind that he was probably Kyle. Well, he said, I'm Kyle. A long silence followed. And I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone, she waved. This is a woman who has either been through a lot in her life or has a very difficult husband. Hi, Rachel, said Kyle. So why are you here? Well, I mean, at least we're asking questions. Rachel was visibly worried. Haha, funny, she said. Were you planning on asking me any questions? Bitch, I just asked one. I mean, I don't have any ideas, said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Kyle looked around and noticed the crew. Who on earth are all of you? He asked. Nobody answered. Kyle got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers. Rachel started to attempt to entertain the audience herself. I appreciate that she's doing my job. Do I still get paid for this? Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical issues. Kyle forgot everything. I didn't get to do anything. All I did was fail. We're going back. I want to ask her those goddamn questions. This is the third time I'm picking these. Guess we'll go with the swimming goggles. Kyle decided on a fashion-forward casual style. He could barely see out of the goggles. Am I going to be able to see my notes? Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Let us visit the tech store. Kyle walked into the clean, white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot with flashing lights. Return to the street, ask attendant for free samples. Steal Techno Jim. That's right, you bastards. Give me the Techno Jim and nobody gets hurt. Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to pull upwards forcefully. Oh God. After several tugs, Techno Jim broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind. Do I get an icon for this? Yes! Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring bewildered, and ran outside. Continue with day. I guess we'll visit the downstairs neighbor. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered it. She looked at Kyle expectantly. There's only one answer, and it's like somewhat normal. Greet and start conversation. Ask Gabby about Rachel. Ask Gabby about Gabby. Honestly, we're never going to get anywhere about Rachel anyway. I'd rather know about Gabby's bug-fighting crime escapades. Gabby stiffened. Oh, you know, she put on a fake smile. I just sit around here. Yes, I don't get around much. I never go out at night. I just stay here. Right here. Gabby glared at Kyle. No one in this world is normal. The only one that's normal is poor Rachel. Convinced by Gabby's statement, Kyle bid her goodbye and returned to the street. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. We can go forward, or we can interview Techno Jim instead. I've got to do it. Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Jim in her stead. Hello, Techno Jim, said Kyle. I'm going to interview you today. Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off the cardboard frame. Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of the frame and motioned for the crew to go live. Hi, I'm Kyle, said Kyle, and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest. He pointed to Techno Jim. Using the dismembered arm, Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the lights. Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. I can only pray to God that Techno Jim catches on fire somehow and kills us all. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Hi, Kyle, he said, raising the pitch of his voice. My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest. So we are technically interviewing Rachel May. Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible. And you should feel ugly. Kyle gave Jim a meaningful stare. Wow, Kyle, he said, I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames and is flaming. Oh, Christ. Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Who's the bastard that put appropriate anti-fire measures into this studio? I want them fired. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon aburst with electrical fires. Never mind, this just got even better. As the crew scrambled around, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat motionless, staring forward, as he apparently often does. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare. As the final frame, Kyle's rating skyrocketed. And that's how you make a viral video. Techno Jim became a staple on the show, often ending up destroyed by the end of each episode. Although Rachel did not come back on the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular. Interviewed Rachel. All I want is to ask her the question, and I end up getting sidetracked each time. Well, I don't know what the fuck I just played. That's gonna be it for Kyle is Famous. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, stay foxy, much love.